Hi guys, hey loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Goodness, and if you're just seeing my face for the first time, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're a returning subscriber, hi boo, thank you so much for coming back to watch another of my videos. Yeah, so in today's video I'm going to be talking about pretty privilege, hence why I'm all dolled up. But yes, so as you can tell from the title, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the disadvantages of being pretty. Yes, I'll be talking about the disadvantages of being pretty, in as much as it's something most people crave for. It's like something that should be appreciated, but there are disadvantages of being pretty, and in today's video, I'm just going to be telling you guys some of the disadvantages of being pretty. Of course, from my own perspective. And in the course of this video, I may be looking down. That's because I wrote down notes and I'm just trying to make sure that I don't talk out of my notes. So yeah, let's get right into the video. Okay, so number one disadvantage I would say is people take your achievements for granted. Yes, so I've noticed that we being pretty, yeah, most times whenever you achieve a feat or something good happens for you, most people just sideline it. Most people don't like want to appreciate your hard work or anything. Everybody just feels like, oh yeah, you got it because you're pretty. She got it because she's pretty. That's the reason why she walked into that room and was offered the job, because she's a fine girl. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that pretty privilege does not exist. I'm not trying to say that there are not times when you walk into a room and you got a job or you get something because you're pretty. This does happen, but then I don't think this is the fault of the pretty person in question, okay? I don't think that person is to blame. It's not my fault that I'm pretty. It's not my fault that this other person or the person who gave me the job couldn't be constructive enough to give me this job based on merit. So yeah, one of the problems of being pretty is that people just automatically assume that, oh, anything she has achieved is because she's a fine girl. They gave her that cash, it's because she's a fine girl. She married that man because she's a fine girl. She got that job because she's a fine girl. Her Instagram is growing, her YouTube is growing because she's a fine girl. But that's really not the case, okay? And most times pretty people find themselves struggling, almost like you're in that mental space of trying to prove, like you're trying so hard to prove that I belong here, okay? I got this on merit. Sometimes I catch myself, because I find myself in that hole sometimes. I find that when I'm in a room with people, I already feel like, people are already staring at me. When I walked in, people were staring at me. The best I can do for myself now is to just shut up, just sit down. I mean, I've already gotten attention. Let me not be too loud. Let me not air my opinions so they don't think I'm overdoing it, like this fine girl that her body's just scratching her. But now, like, I've realized that, I mean, it's not what it's not supposed to be, right? The fact that I'm pretty, the fact that people can't help but stare when I walk into a room does not mean that I should now dim my light, okay? Because truly, you're not going to depend on pretty privilege for the rest of your life. Like, our skin gets old, you're going to grow old one day, and then you will now realize that, oh my god, I was just depending on my looks for everything. So yes, one of the disadvantages is that it can make you just shortchange yourself. Like, you just start to dim your light. You just feel like, I'm pretty, I've already gotten the attention. So yeah, that's one of the disadvantages. Oh, my next point is the tendency of you to get so sucked up and probably now obsessed with yourself is very, very high. So when you're a very pretty person and you know that you're a very pretty person, heads turn when you walk, you get compliments every day, you can get so obsessed with it, you can get so obsessed with yourself that you almost even start to lose yourself, and then there's no value, like you are nothing but a pretty face, right? It's almost the same thing with my other points, but in this point, all I'm trying to say is that you can get so obsessed with yourself, obsessed with that attention, obsessed with the reaction you get from people when you walk into a room, when you walk down the street, that when you no longer get that attention, or maybe just one day in your life you stepped out and you didn't get any compliment, you can find yourself start being like, what's happening? Some people even fall into depression. I've heard some girls say things like, I went out today and no one complimented me, or oh my god, it's been 1 week, no car stopped for me, nobody stopped to say hi, fine girl, that kind of thing. It's a problem because you almost find yourself start seeking validation from people. So what you're just used to is that reaction. So that is what drives you. So what happens when you don't get that attention anymore? Are you going to lose your self-worth? The tendency for you to get used to these compliments is very high. I mean, I'm at this stage in my life where I know there are sometimes I dress up and I just know that, okay, I'm about to go and cause trouble. I will enter the streets and I will cause trouble. But then it does not, what's the word? It's not what drives me, okay? It's not that validation from people. It's not walking into a room and people saying, fine girl, fine girl. For what is worth self, I don't even like the compliments, especially when meeting someone for the first time. Okay, yeah, it's nice when you say, oh, you're really pretty, thank you very much. But when we keep meeting or subsequently and all you can say, like the only compliment you can give me is, you're a very fine girl, you're such a fine girl, you're such a fine girl, it starts to bother me, because I'm like, oh my god, don't I have any value? Like, am I just a pretty face? Is that all this person sees when they see me? So yeah, like the tendency for you to get so sucked up in that world is very, very high. And then if you don't catch yourself quickly, you just go down that hole of, I'm a fine girl, people compliment me all the time. So this is my question: what happens when you don't get compliments? What happens when you start to get old? Because whether you like it or not, there will always be someone finer than you, there will always be someone prettier than you, there will always be someone with a nicer body than you, nicer facial features and all of that good stuff. I just feel like in the long run, it is value that is most important, and I think a lot of pretty people just miss the point because they just get so sucked up in that life and that world of just being center of attention whenever they walk into a room. So another of the disadvantages of being pretty is that you cannot tell whether someone likes you because you're pretty or they like you for your personality. So sometimes it can be so hard to make friends, it can be so hard to sustain relationships because you're just not sure, is this person gravitating towards me because I'm a fine girl, or does this person really like me? In friendships, in relationships, like any form of relationship, because when you're a pretty person, it almost feels like you have to do like some extra work with discerning people and their characters, because a lot of people just gravitate towards you. But people from the opposite gender, even females, everyone is trying to be your friend, everyone is trying to get close to you. It can be so stressful because you're just like, I don't know, why is this person into me? Do you really like me? So let's look at this from the relationship perspective, all right? I mean, you're a pretty girl, so you definitely have a lot of guys approach you on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. A lot of guys coming to you, oh my god, you're so pretty, and all of that good stuff. Now it's so hard for you to now discern if, okay, is this person just with me because I'm pretty, or does this person really appreciate my personality? Does he like to spend time with me? Does he really like me? Is he really invested in this relationship, or he just wants to date me because so he can have bragging rights and say, nah, my babe be this, so check him out now, nah, my babe be this? Because most of the times that is what it turns out to be. A lot of these guys just want to be with you because you're pretty, and so when they hang out or when they show you off to their friends or when they walk into a place with you, it's like, odogu, you carry fine babe. So it can be very stressful, okay? Most times I even tell people that it is harder for pretty girls to be in relationships. It's harder for pretty girls to sustain relationships. It's harder for pretty girls to find people that actually take them seriously. That's why most times you find out, this fine girl, she never marry, wetin happen, she how far now? Because most times you just meet a lot of people. I feel like the number of frogs that pretty girls have to kiss before they find their prince is just a lot. You come across a lot of people. It takes a high level of emotional intelligence for you to just know how to like distinguish, okay, this one is just here because of my looks and this one actually cares about me, this one works out. So yes, it can be very stressful to sustain friendships, sustain relationships, because you don't know who is there because of your looks or who is there because they actually appreciate you and really want to be friends with you. So yeah, another point is that people think you're a snob. Guys, this one never gets old. Like, there are people that are my friends right now that will tell you, oh, when I first saw you, I said, nah, I can't approach her, she's definitely a snob. I have a lot of my very good friends now that will tell me that when I first saw you, I thought, she'll be too full of herself, she'll be too proud. And I don't know where that narrative is from. A lot of people just think fine girl, proud, fine girl, rude, fine girl, snob, fine girl, full of herself, fine girl, not approachable. And sometimes you're just like, my dear, I know it kind of contradicts the part of me saying a lot of people gravitate towards you, but yeah, it's actually still a thing, okay? For the ones that are courageous enough to come to you, there are a lot of them that still come to you just for your looks and just because it will look good being your friend, or it will look good dating you, or they will look good in a picture with you, or whatever it is. But then there are still the people that will not approach you because they think, she's a fine girl, I can't try, it's not possible, she won't even give me a listening ear. And I'm talking in the case of relationships now. There are a lot of guys that won't approach you because, oh my god, she's just way too pretty, she'll probably turn me down, she's probably high maintenance. I mean, I'm high maintenance because God sustains me. But yes, a lot of people just think, no, this one, no go area. If I don't have like 2 million, 5 million to spend on her, if I don't have like 300k to buy wig for her, then I'm not even going to try, because this one is probably just way too shallow. She's just a dumb blonde, like I said, so she's just a fine face. She's probably just looking for a man that has money, a man that will take care of her, a man that will keep her looking pretty. And I mean, these things are nice, but like, this is not the case. This is not the case. So even in the case of regular friendships, a lot of people just think you're a snob, you'll be rude and all of that. And I just feel it's so unfair, because like, people just already profile you and judge you even before you open your mouth to speak. So my last point before I wrap up this video is also another contradictory point, but it is the fact that you will have a lot of haters. Yep. I hate to use that word. But yes, like, being pretty actually attracts a lot of hate also. And this is actually common amongst your own gender. So if you're a man, you probably get, I don't know if this works for men. No, let me just speak for females. So if you're a very pretty girl, best believe that you would have some females that just don't like you because you are fine. They won't like you because you're pretty. Some people just don't like you because they think,
what is it self? Is she the only one? Is she the only fine girl? Is that why she's carrying herself like that? Is that why a lot of people like her? Is that why a lot of guys gravitate towards her? Is it because she's fine? I beg you, me too, I'm fine.
Or they'll say things like,
it's not by being fine. What does she even have upstairs? She's just being fine girl, fine girl. If not because of this her fineness, nobody will like her. Nobody will like her.
And it's worse when you're light skinned, because you get things like,
if she was dark, she would not have been fine. No, it's just this her color. Are you sure she's not bleaching? She's bleaching. Nah cream. How come she's the only light-skinned person in her family?
This one is so personal to me, because I'm the only light-skinned person in my family. So yes, you just get a lot of hate, like, and you're just like, bro, I'm really just trying to walk through this life without stressing anybody. I don't look for anybody's trouble. Why are you guys on my case? You just have people say, I beg, I don't like her. Okay, why don't you like her? I don't know. She's just too full of herself. Like, I can never understand it, guys. So yeah, whenever you think pretty privilege, whenever you see a pretty girl and you're thinking she has gotten to where she is because of her looks, yes, you might be right, but then don't forget the dangers and the disadvantages of being pretty. Don't forget that this person is probably really lonely because a lot of people don't like her. This person is finding it hard to sustain relationships because a lot of people are just with them for their looks. This person is probably having a hard time proving themselves all the time because they are trying so hard to show that I'm more than a pretty face. This person is on a constant struggle to prove themselves to everyone that I can do more, I have something upstairs, I have more to offer, I'm a person too, I can hold meaningful conversations, and yada yada yada. So yeah, before I close out this video, I'm just going to say this. If you are in that habit of profiling people, if you're in that habit of judging people because of their looks, if you fall under that category of people that just sideline other people's hard work because of their looks, I hope you stop doing that. I hope this video gives you an insight on some of the struggles and some of the disadvantages of being pretty. Also, don't forget that pretty in this case is referring to societal standards. So do not look down on yourself. Do not think, oh, because heads don't turn when I walk into a room, or I don't get certain things easily because I don't have a fine face. Don't think there's something wrong with you. We are all fearfully and wonderfully made by God. You have a father that loves you very much. I'm sure you have family, you have friends that love you. So do not look down on yourself. Do not think less of yourself because heads don't turn when you walk into a room, okay? Just always remember that superficial beauty fades, okay? We'll all grow old one day. That girl that is the prettiest girl in your class, check her out in the next 30 years, okay? The wrinkles will come in and all of that good stuff. I think we should all strive for inner beauty because in the long run, that's really all that matters. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you made it up to this point in this video, thank you so much. Please don't forget to like this video, leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know, do you struggle with pretty privilege? For you, are the pros more than the cons, or are the cons more than the pros? I'd like to know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to share this video and turn on your post notification bell button so you'll be notified whenever I post another video. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.